Let's take it straight to the White House. Our Mary Bruce standing by, Chief White House Correspondent, just listening to what Avi just said. Mary, what does President Biden do at this moment?
Well, what I can tell you is what he is actually physically doing at this moment, and that is monitoring this unfolding from the Situation Room. He is there with Vice President Harris. We just received that information from the White House. He's receiving regular updates, of course, from his national security team. But also this, Kira, the White House saying the president has directed the U.S. military to aid Israel's defense against Iranian attacks and to shoot down missiles that are targeting Israel. Of course, we have heard from a White House official earlier today saying that a direct military attack from Iran against Israel will carry severe consequences for Iran. What exactly that looks like, we still do not know. And as you were just discussing, of course, the president in the days leading up to this has been calling for a ceasefire, saying that while an all-out war is possible, the president was adamant we really have to avoid it. Of course, that is a hard sentiment to see how that is possible, given what we are seeing play out right now, Kira.
Steve Ganyard, what could the consequences be for Iran?
Well, Kara, I think that the White House has said that the Israelis have at least relayed to them that there will be economic targets. Remember that the real threat to Israel is the Iranian nuclear program, and that has been developing, and the ability for the Iranians to create what's called a breakout capability to be able to build a nuclear weapon in a short period of time is very close and very near at hand. You're seeing these ballistic missiles tonight raining down on Israel that theoretically could be the same kind of ballistic missiles that could carry one of those nuclear warheads. So as Avi was noting, at some point, this is going to have to come to a head, at least in the eyes of the Israeli government and the Israeli military, that they cannot continue to allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon capability that would directly threaten Israel in the future. So there may be some attempts to go after some of the nuclear programs within Iran. The problem for Israel is that most of these nuclear programs and their centrifuges are buried very deeply. Israel does not have heavy bombers to carry deep penetrating warheads or the kinds of munitions that would be able to take out those nuclear facilities. So they can take out things around those nuclear facilities. They can take out the oil capabilities that the Iranian economy relies on. They can take out various parts of the regime. They can go after Khamenei himself. But the ability to take care of the real problem, which is nuclear weapons, is going to be quite a challenge for the Israeli military.
You mentioned Khamenei. I mean, is there a scenario here where Israel strikes the leadership of Iran before anything else, or does this go in phases? Does this start by taking down all communications, power plants, just daily functions for the country to run? Or is there a possibility here, depending on what happens inside Israel, that Israel may retaliate and go right for leadership?
Well, remember that they went after Nasrallah, and lots of people didn't think they were going to go after Nasrallah. So Khamenei apparently, right after Nasrallah was killed, went into hiding. And so Israel's ability to track senior leaders in Iran is not as good as it is to track Hezbollah leaders in Lebanon, which is right next door. So they would have the problem actually finding where he was. Remember that the distance between Iran and Israel is significant. It's the same distance as between Houston and Los Angeles. So the ability to fly airplanes and to be able to take real-time targeting is not the same as in Lebanon. So the challenge for the Israeli military is much greater in Iran. I do think, though, that what you're going to see is something where the Israelis are going to take their time. There's no need for them to rush. They can assess the damage, take care of what's going on. They still have a campaign going on in both Gaza and Lebanon. There's no rush on what they need to do in terms of retaliation. There will probably be discussions with allies, to include the United States, to make sure that the response does not go beyond the Iranian borders. But again, I think that there are all sorts of options because the Iranian defenses are essentially helpless in the face of the kinds of military capabilities that the Iranians have, or the Israelis have.